Is anybody else having an extremely difficult time with their parked motorcycle syndrome? Because I am dying. You know what time it is. Let's go. Maybe not, we'll just ignore that. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Melissa. Today we're gonna go over a crucial topic that you need to know about as a new rider so that you avoid doing this in the wrong situation out on the road. And that is a little something called target fixation. We're gonna go over why it is to your detriment, but also why you can use it to be a more effective rider and have a smoother ride. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. I've got a whole pack of markers. What color do I want to use? Ooh. Oh, there's like stuck in there. Excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna do blue. Okay. All right, let me get this up here. Y'all didn't know you're going to class today, did you? I promise there's not a test at the end. Okay, so, let's put this in here. So target fixation is when we are going down the road. Let's just draw a line here. Ideally, as we are riding, we want to be looking around the corner and looking where we're going. However, you know how a lot of curves have those little signs that have the little arrows around there? Gosh, I really hope that you guys can see that. What a lot of riders do is instead of looking around through the corner, they will look up at the sign and target fixate on that and drive straight into it. This is what we don't want to do. What's in here? Oh, I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Something similar can also happen just on a straight road. So if we, and I'm in the States, so we drive on the right side of the road here. So if you are here and there is a big pothole here, instead of just riding around it, if we look at it and we target fixate on it, more than likely, we're gonna run that puppy right over even though we're not meaning to. Okay, that's not gonna work. So you might be asking, why do we even do this? Like, it makes sense, right? Why would you run into something that you don't want to run into? Let me explain. So humans are pretty much made like the same exact way, regardless of how tall you are. We all have the same skeleton, right? So biomechanically, we are like made to do this. So let me get on and I will show you exactly. Oops. Oh, okay. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. And I will move my hair so that you can see a bit better. So I want you guys for a second pay attention to my torso and my shoulders specifically. I'm gonna act like someone is calling my name from over here. Watch what I do. Did you notice? Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. See if you can figure out what I'm talking about before I actually say it. Ready? So I'm looking forward, someone calls my name. My shoulders and my whole upper body turned along with my head and my neck, right? What we don't do as humans is this. See, like, it's hard for me to even do. We don't just turn like our head and neck, right? We're like, huh? We turn our whole entire bodies. It is the same thing with target fixation. You might have noticed this, maybe not for like that example, but if you're ever having a like interesting conversation with someone over like a table, they're saying stuff that's really, really interesting. Have you ever found yourself starting to slowly kind of creep forward? Maybe even lay your elbows on the table because you're so focused in on what they're saying and interested. Your body is so drawn to that because you're hyper-focusing on them. So this is the same exact premise. It's just something that us humans do. Biomechanically, we tend to turn our whole head, neck, and torso when we're looking at something or whatever object has our focus and attention. We kind of gravitate right towards that. So that's the reason that target fixation is even a thing and why you should give a crap about it, because it's just human nature and everybody does it. Now, I will say it is a skill that all motorcyclists should learn, in my opinion, is to be able to separate that movement somehow. And let me break that down maybe a bit more to have that make a bit more sense. So what I mean by that is you should have the skill to be able to be riding, keep your handlebars straight, keep your shoulders forward, but just turn your head and neck to look at something without drifting from side to side. So that is a skill that you should learn. But normally, when we want target fixation to work in our favor, we do want that guiding principle. So if we are looking up into a left corner, we do want our body to go left and for everything to kind of go together. If that makes any sense, gosh, I really hope it does. I hope I'm doing an okay job teaching. I enjoy teaching, but sometimes things that are in my brain maybe don't make sense for you. So please inform me if this makes sense to you. So you might ask, well, then how do we avoid target fixation then, Melissa? Simply put, don't fixate on stagnant objects and where you don't want to go. Scan the road ahead constantly and make sure that you are looking where you want to go so that you go there. Super simple. All right, let me get off of this thing and let me get out the handy dandy whiteboard one more time so that we can look at some stuff here. Okay, here we are. Put this baby back up here. Oop, a nice little spot to put that on, actually. It's really nice. So again, we have our curved road. We're gonna put our little dots in the middle. Here are we. So as we are going around the turn, we want to be progressively looking through the turn, not looking at the car that's coming out, from around the other side. We want to be aware of our surroundings, of course, but we don't need to fixate on these things. Or if there is a pothole here, we don't want to fixate on this pothole. We just want to keep on scanning. We want to be aware of it and know that it's there so that we can avoid it, but notice it and then keep on riding and having your gaze be several seconds ahead of where you want to go. I haven't heard anybody say this number, but me personally, I like to be looking 10 seconds ahead. So what I mean by that is in 10 seconds, where am I going to be? If I continue on the same path that I'm on, the same speed, the same turn angle, where am I going to be in 10 seconds? So that's personally what I think about, not necessarily something that you have to do, just something that I do for myself. Ideally, we, again, want to be aware enough of our surroundings so that we do not have to run over said pothole, but sometimes, you know, everyone's human. We all make mistakes, right? Sometimes you're just not paying as close of enough attention as you should be. And sometimes these guys sneak up on you relatively fast. Or, you know, maybe like a branch falls out with maybe like a branch falls off of a tree. It's a relatively windy day. That stuff happens, right? So sometimes there are things that are unavoidable that you do have to run over. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the bike and show you guys just really quick my body position and what I use when I'm running over something that is unavoidable. Side note, I've been riding horses for 20 years before I started riding motorcycles last year. So a lot of this stuff really translates. If any of you people are also equestrians, this is kind of similar to a half seat or 2-point position. So what we're gonna wanna do is make sure that our head and neck is up. Again, we're not looking down at the object. What we don't want to do is have something like catch and then we lose our steering and the bike goes like that really fast. We don't want that. So we do want to keep a really solid grip on our handlebars, but relax your arms just a little, but keep a solid grip on the bars so that the wheel does not turn either way on accident. So looking forward, keep your chest up and out, firm grip, relaxed, and then actually come off of the seat just a little bit. So you can have, again, chest up, seat up a little bit, just so that when you go over it, you don't slam down and the bike doesn't come up and hit you in your seat. You can actually absorb that shock and be kind of ready for it, right? If anybody rides motocross or dirt bike, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Do not look down at the object because again, what do we do physically, right? I'm gonna look down, ooh, ouch, right? When I looked down, I got closer to the bike, I kind of sunk down, and all my weight just went into my elbows. Not good. That's gonna hurt when you hit it, right? So we don't want to do that. Up, out, chest forward, up off of the seat a little bit. Run it over and be done with it. One other thing that is important to mention, psychologically, if you can just take a deep breath before you go over it, that's probably gonna help you a lot too. And ideally, you know, in a perfect world, right, we wanna run over things at a 90-degree angle. And I'll put a picture here for you guys to see that. But going over things at a 90-degree angle really sets you up for the best success to get over it, through it, without any issues. So not only does keeping your eyes up avoid potential hazards, but it just sets you up for a smoother ride anyway. So by being proactive, you should be able to handle honestly whatever comes your way. So we just talked about how target fixation is a bad thing. Now we're gonna talk about how you can actually use it to your benefit when you use it correctly. So as we talked about, this is just a human phenomenon. It's not necessarily something that you have to actively think about. So when used in the right situations, we can really take advantage of this. Gotta get the whiteboard again, because we're not done with that. You know what probably would have been, really smart was an easel. I didn't think about that. So this is what we get. Thank you for your patience. So one little thing that I actually did when I started riding, and I'm gonna draw this curved road again here. We're coming down. Here's our motorcycle, we're coming down this way. But you know, again, we're gonna draw those markers that have those black arrows on it. Again, I'll put a picture so you know what I'm talking about when I'm drawing up here, because obviously this is not what it looks like in real life, right? But I would actually progressively glance over at these as I'm going around a curve. That helped me, so that I'm like, okay, I have 1 second to look at this one, glance over, 1 second to look at that one, 1 second to look at the next one, 1 second to look at the next one. That helped me not target fixate. Maybe my brain is just weird and that's not really going to work for you, but it helped me so that I kind of played a game with myself, like I don't get more than a second to look at one of them and then I have to move my eyes to the next one. Ideally, we do want to keep our eyes focused around the curve, but if you find yourself focusing and target fixating, if that's like a bad habit for you when you start riding, maybe try doing that. Again, that's just something that I did. I'm not telling you to do that. That just helped me, that little game that I played, that I only get 1 second to look at this before I have to look at something else. Another thing that we can do to actually use target fixation to benefit us is, let me just draw another road here. So if there is a pothole or something in the road, we're just gonna do, this is a terrible road. Okay. We're gonna put one here too. Okay. So here we are, coming down. One thing that we can do, let's actually put one way up here too. Okay. One thing that we can do is use our target fixation ability that we as humans have, right? We can use that to our advantage in a situation like this. So, what we can do is use it in our swerve. So if we're coming up here, we can easily avoid these small ones. We can see them, right? But this kind of looks a little sketchy, and up here looks a little sketchy. We don't have a whole lot of room from A to B here to do a whole lot. Well, whoops. So what we would do, we would probably avoid these ones first, right? Come up here. We might have to go over this one depending on how quick you're able to go around here. Gosh, I really hope that you guys can see it. If not, I'll try and darken it. But we're gonna swerve around this one, come up, swerve around this one. We want to be looking, if we're not gonna run over this one here, I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. If we don't wanna run over this one here, let's look to our left over here. So we're gonna look this way, up and over, And then once we get back to it, we're gonna look back over to the right so that we can swerve around it. So we're gonna look, turn our head and neck and torso to the left, go around it, look, head, neck, and torso to the right. And now same thing again, we want to avoid this one. We're gonna go ahead and look left so that our head, neck, and torso follows to the left. And then we don't have anything ahead, so then we can go ahead and look forward again and keep on going straight and enjoying our ride. Is it snowing in? Was that just dust? Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. That is all I have for you for today on the topic of target fixation. If this video was helpful to you at all, please like it. As always, if I missed something or I didn't explain something clearly enough, or if you have an experience that is related to the topic of target fixation, please comment on the video so that I can interact with you and so other people who view the video can learn and we can all benefit from what you have to say. And of course, if you want to become a joyrider like the rest of us, it's free. All you have to do is click that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit that bell notification so that you never miss a ride with us. So until next time, I love you all. Keep both of those wheels down, ride to live another day, and I will see you soon. I just really want it to not be 13 degrees outside and snowy and cold and rainy and yuck and wet so that I can actually ride my motorcycle and have a good time. Is that too much to ask? If any of you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm actually moving out of Minnesota here within the next few months so that I can live somewhere that doesn't snow 5 to 6 months out of the year, believe it or not. So more to come on that, stay tuned, but announcement. For anyone that cares, probably no one.